the record today. So today was a good day, as Ice Cube used to say. And I'm going to talk to you about why the stock market just hit another record level, and also some other things going on in the world, particularly as it relates to getting that jab. And I just saw a video that just blew my mind, and I'm going to talk to you about all of this in 1 second. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day, under one condition. The condition is that you have to be Black first. Black first, B1. That means that you put Black people at the top of your priority list. We're not here to solve anybody else's problems until we solve our own. B1 also means that we believe B1 children, our children, are going to lead the world when it comes to economics, wealth building, and all things related to asset acquisition within the next 50 years. That's called Project 2070. B1 also means we understand we must be one to be successful. So that means working together. That means finding common ground. It means learning how to manage your relationships in a healthy way. So if you agree with that philosophy and that perspective, put a hashtag B and the number one in the chat, hashtag B1 in the chat. Now, let me ask you all a question. Hey, Francino and Montez and Robert and Derek Graham. I got a question. Did you make money? Are you making money with your stocks this week? How's your stock portfolio doing? Did it go up? Did it go down? It probably went up. If you're diversified properly, if your money is spread out the right way, then you probably made a little bit of money this week. It looks like this is a decent week. And today was a big day. Remember, I told you guys yesterday that the market was pregnant, and you were like, well, what does that mean? Who's the daddy? Who the baby daddy? Right? Well, the market was pregnant because there was going to be information released. Something was going to be released, and nobody knows exactly what that information was going to look like. Nobody knew what gender the baby was going to be or anything. So this information has been released, and it had to do with the Fed. And the Fed had a meeting, what they call the Jackson Hole meeting, where they talk about policy. And everybody was sort of waiting to see what the Fed was going to say when it came to what they call tapering. Tapering is the discussion of whether they're going to stop their bond buyback program. Part of the reason that your stocks have been making so much money is because the Fed has been dumping money into the market like crazy, and that has been pushing prices up. So today, I looked and I saw that the prices went up, and basically Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, who is probably one of the most important white people you'll ever know when it comes to your portfolio, he basically said that tapering is going to start before the end of this year. They may start as early as September, but there was something about the market kind of being relieved that they kind of know what's really going on now. There's something about information clarity that can actually boost stock prices. And so I'm going to read some of this to you. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And actually, before I read this, I want to mention something to you guys. On my Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. I'm going to put it on the screen. You got to go follow me on Instagram. And the reason is real simple. I put up a video today that I really think you want to look at. I've always insisted when it comes to getting the jab and the pandemic and everything, I'm a believer in individual liberty and individual freedom. And that's what I just sort of stand by, till the end. Well, you know what? I just saw something. I just saw a video. Samaki Walker, who played for the Los Angeles Lakers, is a buddy of mine. And Samaki sent me a video by a sister named Dr. Christina Walker. I believe that's her name. She is I believe she's a virologist. I know she has a PhD in the sciences from the University of Michigan. And she did some congressional testimony about the virus and about the jab. And I'm going to just tell y'all, you got to hear her testimony. And I'm not going to tell you what to think. I believe in liberty. I believe in freedom. I believe you have the right to do whatever you want to do. But she makes a very compelling argument that actually getting the shot, this really blew my mind. Actually getting the shot makes you more vulnerable to the virus than less vulnerable. And she explains it. I'm not going to try to, before you start, calling me an anti-vaxxer or whatever. I'm not an anti-nothing. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-safety, right? Whatever makes sense, I'm going to do it. And so I'm not scared of a jab. I don't think either option is going to necessarily kill you, but I really think you want to go watch that video. So go to my Instagram. It's The Real Boyce Watkins. That video's up there right now. It's about 7 to 8 minutes. But I guarantee you, when you watch that, it's going to freaking blow your mind. I swear to God. I couldn't believe when I saw it. It's the most compelling piece of testimony I have seen on this virus since the beginning. And one thing that she said that was really interesting was she said that the people who are most anti-shot tend to be the PhDs. people that have high levels of understanding of the science. My sister's a medical doctor. She was like, I'm not messing with that, right? She said the PhDs and also people that are uneducated because they don't know what's going on, but they just don't trust the government. And also African Americans. She mentioned African Americans because of Tuskegee and things like that we're very much against it. Most of you guys haven't gotten the shot, and I'm not telling you what to do. I promise you I'm not. But at the end of the day, you got to watch this video. Anybody who's open-minded should go check this out. Just give me a yes if you hear what I'm saying. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not. But you got to see this video. Holy crap. So anyway, I had to take that quick little commercial break to let y'all know that I saw this, and this blew my mind. Her name is Dr. Christina Walker. I believe that's her name, and it was really compelling. So anyway, let me keep going. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. So here's what so this was a good week for the Dow. It says here on CNBC that the major averages finished the week higher after Powell prepares markets for Fed's bond taper this year. Stocks rose on Friday and headed for a winning week. And basically, Jerome Powell has said that the Fed's going to start tapering its $120 billion monthly bond purchases this year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average raised 233 points. The three major stock averages are all set to close in the green. The Dow is up 0.9% week to date, so a little bit less than 1%. The S&P is up 1.4%. The 10-year Treasury yield, which ran up this week into the Powell speech, eased slightly after the Fed chief's remarks as he made clear that interest rate hikes would not immediately follow after the tapering was over. So they're not going to increase interest rates right after the, when they do the taper, they're not going to increase interest rates right away. That's a big deal. When the Fed increases interest rates, that can push your prices down. He said, look, this is going to be a whole separate conversation. We're not going to think about that. So the market said, okay, all right. Thanks a lot. Okay, good. I'm relieved now, right? Quote, the timing and pace of the coming reduction in asset purchases will not be intended to carry a direct signal regarding the timing of interest rate liftoff, for which we have articulated a different and substantially more stringent test. That's his way of saying we ain't going to raise interest rates. Okay. So Powell also said inflation is solidly around the central bank's target of 2%. One of the goals of the Fed's dual mandate, their dual mandates, if I'm not mistaken, are a targeted inflation rate. They don't want inflation to get too high, but you don't want it to be too low. If the inflation rate is too low or you have deflation, then that's bad for your economy. So you need a little bit of inflation. Think of it like your tires in your car. You need them inflated. But if you inflate them too much, what happens? They pop, right? So with inflation for the economy, you want a little inflation to kind of get stuff going. It's like your, ladies, is like your man when he gets his testosterone. He's got his what do you call it? His swag, his machismo, whatever you want to call it, right? That's good, right? But you don't want it to be too much because it becomes toxic, right? It becomes over the top, right? So ultimately with inflation, they want a little inflation to kind of let you know the economy is alive and moving, but not so much inflation that it's out of control. Also, they have a full employment mandate. So a strong economy generates jobs, and they're doing a pretty good job creating jobs and managing inflation. Where they're not doing a good job is protecting equality. The economic inequality is through the roof, and a lot of it's due to Fed policies. The reason I've been pushing as many Black people as possible to get into the stock market is because that's where the money resides. That's where the money's going up. Wages are too low. Corporations ain't taking care of you. All these graduates from college that are getting out of school and just going to work for white people, they're not winning. I've showed you guys the data. The winners in this economy are the people who own the assets. So we must start changing the conversation about how well you're doing financially. Stop talking about what kind of good job you got. Stop cheering just because your buddy got a job. That's nice that they got a job, but the people that are really winning are the people that own things. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We got to shift out of that sort of culture where we only thinking about the job. You got to go look for the big piece of chicken, the big opportunity that's out there. The big opportunity comes in the form of wealth, not in the form of a job. Now, let me keep going. Based on statements from other Fed officials, a tapering announcement could come as soon as the Fed's September 21st, 22nd meeting. So what's happening right now is you're going to start seeing, Christmas is going to come to an end. The window of opportunity only opens, so often, and it doesn't open that long. It shuts, at a time where you don't expect it. So when you see opportunities, you got to move. You have to make a move. This is a big opportunity. When the pandemic hit and the market dropped, you were able to buy really quality companies at a 50% discount. Those prices doubled throughout the next year. Some of them went up 600-700%. Companies like Nvidia and Moderna just blew through the roof. Now that's not going to happen anymore. Now you're going to get a little bit more of this, right? So you're going to have to sort of be ready for that, because the Fed's going to stop. They're going to end the party very, very soon. The financial markets reaction Friday is a sign that the central bank has successfully prepped investors so far for a removal of its bond buying. And quote, interest rate hikes are far, far away, and investors are happy about that. I guess this is from a guy named Michael Aaron, chief investment strategist for the U.S. Spider business at State Street Global Advisors. I think Powell deserves some credit for navigating the tapering of assets, avoiding a tantrum. The market seems well prepared for the start of tapering. Now, one thing I don't like about the Fed is I feel like the Fed is too sensitive to what's going on with the stock market. I think that they should be more sensitive to what's going on with the economy and with all people in the economy, not just the people on Wall Street. And I think that's the one area where I probably would critique them a little bit. My Ivy League grad student, 23-year-old, finna drop valedictorian in Chicago. Okay, all right. Well, congratulations to you. About the word valedictorian is a good word, so congratulations. Cliff Hodge, chief investment officer for Cornerstone Wealth, noted that Powell remained firm in the Fed's view that elevated inflation is transitory. Despite the Commerce Department's earlier Friday reporting the largest year-over-year personal consumption expenditures increase. So there is more inflation. They believe that that's temporary, but we already talked about that before, so I'm not going to go into that too much. So that's a good thing. Now, in terms of a couple other things I saw, every now and then I like talking to you guys about things I'm just reading, because I used to listen to financial news all day. That video I mentioned to you that's on my Instagram page by Dr. Christina Walker. One of the things that was interesting about her testimony about the pandemic and how it's affecting the economy is she mentioned how, now that they're sort of companies are requiring people to get the jab in order to get a job, no jab, no job, no jab, no travel, no jab, no concert, no jab, no nothing, no jab, no food, no jab, no whatever. It's starting to get to the point where the scientists are stepping out and saying this isn't right. I like what she said, because in the videos on my Instagram, there's my Instagram page if you want to go check it out. What I like about her testimony is that she's basically saying what you're doing is you're taking faulty science and you are locking out millions of people from the economy. You're literally engaged in something that's happened in Nazi Germany, it's happened in other societies, where you discriminate against millions of people, like half of your damn society, or a big chunk of like maybe 50, 100 million people are locked out because they won't do something that even is problematic, right? So I would love to hear the other side of their story in terms of explaining, where is she wrong, right? If she comes out and she says, look, that getting this shot, that if you protect yourself against one variant, you're actually more likely to get sick from the new variants. She literally said, that's the part that kind of blew me away. She said that if you get vaccinated, I'm using the V word. I'm not going to use that word too much. If you get the jab for one variant, she said that means that you're more vulnerable to the next variant. That blew my mind. I would love to see the counter argument to that point. That she said it applies not just to this, it applies to the flu and everything. She talked about autism. She said that there was a data that they threw away that said that the Black boys were getting more instances of autism from getting certain shots. And that was something, because I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this spike in the number of parents of kids that are autistic nowadays. I mean, I don't remember autism being everywhere like this when I was younger. I'm like, where did all this autism come? Was it there? Was that just like the strange kid in school where you didn't know what he had, but you knew he was weird, or what? I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. And I'm a believer in seeking truth. I don't really care if it's politically correct or not. I think these are ideas worth hearing. And I'm just taking it all in, and I'm going to share with you what I see, no matter where it lies. So here's a couple of other pieces of information. The stuff going on in the Middle East, I imagine that's affecting the price of oil. I haven't had a chance to look. If you own energy stocks, things like that, there's always another agenda when you talk about something like Afghanistan. They have lithium deposits and oil in the Middle East and all that. So you never know what the real issue is. Now, here's some issues you may want to look at in the week ahead. Next Friday's August employment report looms large in what could be an otherwise quiet late summer week for markets. So there's an employment report coming out next week. That's going to be a big deal. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell Friday emphasized the need for more strong jobs data before the central bank will start to unwind its bond program. So the Fed chair is going to look at the jobs number, and this is going to affect your stocks. This is going to affect your money. So if he thinks that the jobs numbers are strong, then he'll say, okay, we're not needed here anymore. The economy is safe. But if he feels the numbers are a little weak, they may say, okay, we're going to hold off on the tapering because of that. So it's kind of an interesting thing, right? On one hand, weak jobs numbers would typically drop your market valuations. It would drop your stocks. But because weak job numbers means that the Fed is really going to pop in, then it might actually boost your stocks. So it's really kind of a weird world we live in. One of the things that's really interesting is that they are doing so much work to print money and increase the money supply and pump up the economy that some are wondering what's going to happen when we hit a real crisis where you don't need all this Fed injection and this idea that somehow the Fed can literally create an illusion of an economy, just start throwing stuff out there and making the economy better. Whenever you start getting confident like that and thinking that you know all the answers, that the Fed can just fix it like that, that's when you hit a crash and you run into an economic virus that you cannot heal, that you cannot solve right away. So I'm really curious to see what the next crash looks like. And I'm wondering how that's going to be different from what we've seen in the past. So anyway, that's those are some thoughts that I had. There's some other information coming out next week. Consumer confidence is coming out on Tuesday. Consumer confidence information is a big deal. That's how confident consumers feel. I've seen mixed bags on this. Consumers are spending like crazy. There will not be a shutdown. That's one good thing. But then there are people that are slowing things down, canceling travel plans, things like that as a result of this Delta variant. So that's kind of mixed bag. Also, you have some manufacturing reports coming out next week. So I'll talk to you guys about this as the week goes on. And also, what's Chris is asking, what's the female PhD? I think it's Dr. Christina Parker, but I'm not sure. Just go to my Instagram and you can see she says her name at the beginning. My Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins. And also, by the way, I have in case you want to look, I created this lecture series, this training. We did a weekend intensive event that we recorded where basically I broke down an 11-step methodology that I use to decide which stocks I want to add to my portfolio. I call it the Dr. Boyce Method. I was like, okay, this is really good. So I'm going to actually patent this. And so if you want to go take a look, feel free to go to the drboycemethod.com. The URL is right there on the screen. It's literally a step-by-step process that me and the students went through to show you how I go about deciding what to add to my portfolio and what not to add, or questions you can ask yourself to decide which stocks to add. And this isn't something you'll find in a textbook. With PhDs, we don't read the textbooks, we write the textbooks. So feel free to take a look. It's right there, the drboycemethod.com. So hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button. God bless you, and I'll see you guys soon. Please have a wonderful day. And if you're on the Black News channel, by the way, subscribe to that, because that's we're trying to own Black media, and your help every time you hit the subscribe button, every time you share video, all that, it helps to build Black-owned media. So we'd like for you, if you could, be deliberate and intentional in that process. If you could, we'd appreciate that, because we're really trying to take this game over as a community, and we're gonna do it because we're smarter than they are. So God bless you guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.